What's up, good people? We're about to get started in a minute. My name is Franklin Frank Financial Brown. I'm the founder of Live Free, Give Hope. We are a real estate giveaway company. Yes, we hold sweepstakes and give away free rent for a year furnished with utilities. We'll be getting started in a minute or so. We're going to talk about this property that I have right here. Not a gatekeeper now. Give a few more people some time to grab their lunch, and then we're going to do a walkthrough. We're going to break down the numbers, show you how I got this thing owner financed. Owner finance means you do not have to have good credit. You don't have to go to the bank and do all that nonsense. Not that it's nonsense, but you don't have to have that. I'm gonna flip you guys around real quick. Right across the street from a high school. That used to be like a military school back in the day. It's a historic landmark. I'll show you guys. It's crazy. I got 2 Airbnbs right across the street from schools that are being renovated. Got a little house right there. Nice size house there. See an old one next door. This house was built in 1904, I believe. We're going to pull out our Zillow and take a look, but I would like to buy that one next door also. All right, let's go up in here. All right, let me give you my intro. The who? I am Franklin Frank Financial Brown. I'm the founder of Live Free, Give Hope. I've been a real estate investor since my early 20s. Most of my properties have been in Augusta. In Georgia, and Atlanta and Augusta. It's where most of the portfolio has been. Right now, I'm currently in Augusta. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath Airbnb. Boy, I just hopped off I need to get some chapstick. It's all right, though. I'm going to open up the windows because I prefer to be able to see the things. I'm going to show you guys the house as I go around and start on over. So you may have seen from the first post what it used to look like. If you haven't seen what it used to look like, hop on the post that I put up this morning and it will show you the before photos. Show y'all that while I'm opening these windows. I found this house on Zillow. That's why I want you guys to open up your Zillow. If you don't have the Zillow app, go ahead and download it now, because what we're going to talk about is going to be straight from Zillow. Turn on these lights. We got a lot of windows in here. Paid $10,000 for these windows. I probably could have did without them and just told the Airbnb guests that these windows don't open, like an old hotel. But spent $10,000 to get the new windows. That was not originally in the budget. I thought the old windows were going to work, but my contractor hit me with the replacement thing. But this is fresh right here. I'm not sure. I had never seen this until, hold on, let me see. Bam. Let's see, but you do this here. These things is fresh. Damn. So right now, there's 5 bedrooms upstairs. We thought about at one time converting this room into another sleeping area. Show y'all that there. My wife got down. She switches this up for the holidays and so forth. Now that Halloween is over, we'll probably get that out. We got some Christmas trees in there that light up. Oh, that door's locked. Here's the kitchen. Take a look at what this bad boy used to look like. Now, you will see some trash around here. Guests just checked out yesterday morning. I am here to clean this bad boy up. I have paid people to clean it, and I've gotten bad reviews when they cleaned it. So a lot of times I clean it myself, but I would like to put this bad boy on the giveaways. I would like to give it away for a year, furnished with utilities. But I'm testing out if people are going to buy into this concept, this model, with the apartments that we have in Atlanta. This right here used to be outdoors. This laundry room that we converted, this used to be outside. That's why these stairs, this used to be an outdoor thing. This panel and stuff, this was all outside. It was kind of illegal. Let's see if we can go up this back. Let's see. Sometimes this door is locked. Twin beds here. Got 2 twins. Turn on these lights. The reason I open up all the blinds and so forth is because I need light when I clean up. I got to make sure that I'm seeing everything, because until you start cleaning up after folks, you will never realize how many hairs are everywhere. It's crazy. It is crazy. You know? Man, we got TVs in there. We got the same chandeliers. Well, we got the gold chandeliers in the apartment in Atlanta. I thought we had gold here, but my wife didn't order gold here. Y'all got the good stuff. Let's see. Here's a bathroom. Bam, look at that. Damn. If you guys are ever in Augusta, I put the link in the last post if you want to rent this bad boy out. I pay a company called Vacasa to manage the bookings. You know, so it's a short-term rental. You can find it on Airbnb, but Vacasa does the management for me. I paid them 12%. I paid Vacasa 12%. It may have gone up to 15%. I need to double check. I thought I saw that. So, yeah, let's see what we got here. I would love to be able to give homes like this away. You know, could you imagine a real estate company that's giving properties like this away? You know, that's why we starting with the 1 bedrooms. If this bad boy win, I know it may take time. That's why I'm selling some of my properties, so I have enough money to maintain and keep putting in to live free until it gets rocking, because I know it takes time, you know. But I don't want to sell everything I want to give you guys, but I tell you like this, there's no scarcity in real estate. If you sell, you can always buy more. It's not like, oh, I sold my property, so now I can't buy more properties. No, so we got the 2 full-size beds here. We got a room with 2 twins, and then we got 3 queens. You know, some decent-sized closets. These are some nice-sized rooms. I'll show you guys what this room used to look like. Whew. Let's see. Bam. They got the heat on up in here. We did put brand new HVAC in this bad boy, upstairs and downstairs. That HVAC cost me about $26,000. That was big to the budget. Wasn't expecting to spend that much on it, but I got it financed, so it's all good. I'll show you this closet. Bam, see, nice size closets. The light, there it is, supposed to automatically come on. Bam, and let's go. This is where I keep the cleaning supplies and so forth. This house does have a basement. That's where I keep my bicycle, so I can ride around the area. All right, we're about to talk about this property. All right, so let's everybody got their Zillow? Open up your Zillow, and I want you to type in this address. I'm gonna do the same thing so we can stay together. And we're going to break it down. What I love about Zillow is a lot of times it keeps the history. So you're getting the facts. Let's see, I'm going to sit down out here for a minute. Yeah. Try to do something about these chapped lips. So I got my lip free. Oh, it's filthy. But you can get this hat on the website. I think it's $28, and that gets you 28 entries. Of course, there's no purchase necessary. There's multiple free ways to enter. So let's go back to this 927. That's the address. Put it in your Zillow. 927 Russell Street. Russell Street. Augusta, Georgia. 30904. Once again, 927 Russell Street, Augusta, Georgia, 30904. When that pops up, you will see the old pictures. You can check out the old pictures in there. You'll see that I bought this house January 11th, 2024. So almost 2 years. It'd be 2 years in January. I paid $199,000 for it. Now, when I first found this property, I'm just looking on Zillow, but this is how I find my property. So since you're in Zillow, let's go ahead and X out of that property, and we're going to sort. You're going to go to the sort button that's up in the right-hand corner. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and type in keywords owner finance. This is how I find all my properties. Not all of them, but most of them. What's up, Annie B? View request. Wow. We got Annie B in the building. That's my wife. She just joined. She's the one that designed and decorated all this. This is all her thing. All I did was find it. So what I said I did on Zillow, owner finance. Right now, there's only one result for owner finance. That's one of the things that I love about it. While people got to search around forever to find deals, I only need one at a time. There's only one in this particular search. I'm going to take a look at what it is. It's actually, if you're following me, it's a 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom. It's around the corner from here. They want $351,000. It's for sale by owner. No. Let me run that back. If you guys pull up your Zillow, but you'll see 714 Hickman Road. It's right around here. It's sold for $351,000. Now they have it listed on the market for $535,000. It looks like they've added a bedroom and a few bathrooms, a couple of bathrooms. The owner is interested in doing an owner finance up to 20 years with a balloon payment for a 10% down requirement. So they're selling it for $535,000. They want 10% down, $53,000 down. If it was a deal, then what would you do? How would you come up with that $53,000? Let me tell you what I did for this one right here. This one was $199,000. They wanted $15,000 down. That's a 7.5%. 7.5%. I got an investor. Could I have paid the $15,000 myself? I'm pretty sure I could. But there's so much work to be done that when you can grab a partner, then you guys may have heard the term other people's money. OPM, that's what they tell you how to get started in real estate with. OPM, other people's money. So yes, I do loan money. Sometimes I do put up the money for the property with investors, but sometimes I would rather have a partner that comes with their money. They didn't have to do anything. My partner did not have to do nothing in this property. Didn't have to choose any furniture, didn't have to choose any colors, didn't have to do nothing. All she did was put $17,000 down. It was $15,000 for the down payment, but the closing costs were about $2,000. I know she put up $17,000. So $199,000 was what they were asking for. They didn't run a credit check. They just wanted to know if I had the $15,000 to put down. Why would they do that? Because they know if I cannot pay them their 99,000 minus 15, what's that? 175. It's 175, 185. If I can't give them their 185 in a year, because that's what we set this up for, that I would pay them interest only payments. It was $1,533. I would pay them interest only payments for 1 year. I had to come up with $1,500 a month for 1 year. And then at the end of that time, I went to the bank and I refinanced it. I actually had my partner go to the bank and refinance it. So let's walk that through again, just in case I lost you guys. So I found this property, and hold on, I'm getting high. I told you guys the heat is hella high in here. Hold on for a second. Let me take off this hoodie. It's a good ass hoodie. What is this? $60. Get you 60 bonus entries. Go grab your hoodie. Hold on for a sec. All right, from the hoodie to the shirt. The shirt gets you 30. Where were we? Okay, so real quick from the top. I found this property on Zillow. I'm doing my search. I type in owner finance in the search fields. What is owner finance? This is a form of creative financing where you don't have to go to the bank. Not initially, you don't have to go to the bank. They're usually just concerned about your down payment. They don't care what your credit score is. Why? If you mess up, they get to keep the money. So in this case, I told them, here, I gave them $15,000 down. And I said, at the end of the year and 12 months from now, I will give you the rest of the $185,000. How would I do that? Well, I know when I finish rehabbing the property that it will be worth, my numbers back then, it would be worth $400,000. So if I bought a property for $200,000, put $100,000 into it, and it's worth $400,000, I've created $100,000 of equity. It's just a way to get rich. It's just a way. How many times do you have to do that before you're a millionaire? You do it 10 times. You do that, you do forced appreciation 10 times on $100,000, and that's $1 million. You know? Now let's keep going through it. So $199,000, $15,000 down. I had the partner put up the $15,000 and pay for the closing. Now it came to the renovation. That's where my money came in. You guys may have heard, I told you that American Express is the plug. How I found a contractor. I had 3 contractors show up. One guy was working on a property around the corner. It was a duplex, another $500,000 property. I asked him to come on over and give me a quote. There was another gentleman that was referred to me. I had him come over and give me a quote, and I found another person online and I had them come on over. Out of the 3 contractors, only one gave me a quote. One of them said, hey, they had to get somebody else and come back with somebody. They never panned out. And then the other person, I've never heard from them again. But let me tell you what will happen. You'll call contractors out, and when they see a house that was built in 1904, and when they see it's going to take over $100,000 worth of repair, a lot of them can't do it, you know. But there was one guy, I'll give you guys his name. His name is Roman. I forgot his last name. He owns a company called Space Create. He came in here and his initial quote was $89,000. And like I told you guys, I saw a property for $200,000. It's in a neighborhood of $400,000. And I knew that I should be able to get this house done for about $100,000. Now, I did spend a little bit more than $100,000, $136,000. The air conditioners in the new window took me out the budget, and there was a few upgrades. Let me show you guys those upgrades. And this is my wife right here who chose the upgrades. You see these cabinets? Let me flip these bad boys around. These are not your standard size cabinets. When you go from, let's say, 36 inches to 40 inches, that could be another $1,000 just on cabinets. You know, when you put this type of marble in here, or granite, this ain't granite, I think that's marble. When you do those type of things, the price, it just creeps up. This was just a regular wall right here. We did this cutout. Those little small things add to the budget. Now, when I look at these things, of course, I try to stay in budget, but I do realize that this is a long game. You ain't just doing this for a few months. You know, you are doing this when you get a mortgage, you're saying usually that this is a 30-year process, that I'm going to have this property for 30 years. So if I blow the budget initially, and I'm not talking about something crazy out of the water, because this is what has to be able to happen. These are the rules that I live by. When I go and refinance, so after that year, I had to pay the people their $200,000. So in order for that to happen, you have we refinance. You guys can look up these terms if you don't know them. You have the property appraised, and then you go to the bank. You go to the bank, and the bank will send their appraiser. And if the house appraises for, in this case, 400,000, they'll normally write you a loan, let's say for 70%. 70% on 400,000. Somebody do the math for me. 50, what's that? 310. So they'll give you a loan for 310,000. That right there. So if I bought it for 199 and I'm only getting a loan for 310, but I spent 136,000, $26,000 comes out of my pocket. 26,000 when I go to refinance to get my money back, I'm short 26,000. That can take a lot of people out of the game. That can take a lot of people out of the game. You know, luckily, I just happen to be further in my career. So when you're doing something like this, what I like to look at is knowing that if I buy it for 50 and I put 50 into it, it'll be worth 150. I'm looking to be able to go back to the bank and pull my money out. This one right here. If I was where I should have been, I would have pulled all my money back out. Most of the time, this is if you're doing it right, it will happen, you know. Now, of course, you guys may not know that the Augusta market went down 30%. When you take that into consideration, you realize it comes with the game. It comes with the game. How do you navigate those things? How do you navigate if the market goes up and down? This is when I talk about all the time. This is when you just got to have heart. If you lose it, guess what? You can do this again. It's not one of those things, I lost my property, so now I can't be a real estate investor. That's one of the things I love about owner finance. You know, in that year, if I would have messed up, I could have gave it back. It would not have harmed my credit. You know, now, would it have harmed my $15,000 investment and everything I put into it? Yes. Yes. Okay, where were we? So, 199, 15 into it. It appraised. I have to look at the appraisal, but I know I was out the pocket about 26,000. So let's say it appraised for 4. We got 70% of that back. Most of the rehab was paid for. Now, what do we do about the rest of the money? You know, the $26,000. Well, now you just rent this bad boy out. Now you put this bad boy, there's multiple things you can do with a property. This is another reason why I love owner finance, because it's really about securing the asset. Once you get it, now you can rent out each room for $1,000. Now you can put it on Airbnb. Now you can put it on Vacasa or VRBO. But if you get caught up with it's not going to make every dollar, then you'll never collect the asset. You know, it's all about the assets. I know I beat that down, but this is where I'm going with it. Who's really going to pay that back? That $26,000 that came out of my pocket over the 30 years that, let's say I had to, that's my investment to this $400,000 property. My investment is $26,000. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with somebody else, tenants, Airbnb, guests, hosts, any of that? Would you be okay with them paying, what's that, $374,000 and you put up 26? That's why it's a long game. That's why it's a long game, because a lot of people will see, you know, you didn't hit it out the park on your first one. You didn't hit it out the park on this. It comes with the territory. You know, it's like sports. Sometimes you strike out. Sometimes you get a base hit. Sometimes you hit a home run. You know, this one right here is still a win. There was just a property. Let's go ahead and walk around the neighborhood real quick. Real quick. Oh, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. Bye. Hold on. So this lot right here, this is a lot next door that the individual that I owner finance this property from, he owns this lot. Now, I have it in the contract that if he wants to sell it, I get first right of refusal. That means if he sells this lot, if he wants to sell this lot, he has to come to me first. You know, right now we let the guests use it for parking and so forth. I'm using it for a little advertisement. But if we do get it from him, I'll build another property right here. Maybe a tiny home. Who knows? But let's take a look at this community real quick. Damn. So we got ARC right there. You know, they're doing an old. Looks like it needs our renovation. That would be fantastic. Now, I have not sent that individual any. Some people, I don't do that anymore. But I could. Now, if you guys still have your Zillow open, please open it. But if you have your Zillow, open it up and see. Let's put in an address. Is it 906 or 909? I think it's 909. So put that in and see what these houses are going for. What I like to look at is how much they go for per square foot. The house that we have that we just left on Russell is 2,900 square feet. Let's see. Now, on the back side, you have a lot of houses that's larger than these houses. I'm not going to walk all the way over there. I could, but you guys probably don't want to see all that, do you? Now, there is a house that's right up here on the street. They're charging $400 a night for Airbnb. We charge $275, I believe. Oh, here's a duplex right here. They have to buy that bad boy. But you know, it's a nice quiet area. It's about 2 miles away from the Masters. So that's another reason we picked up the house, is because here in Augusta we have something called the Masters tournament, the golf tournament, and people pay ridiculous amounts. Our house for the Masters, we can get up to about 20 grand. I think last year we did like 12,000. Last year was our first year. We really didn't know what we were doing. Can you get the landscaper info you just passed? Let's get the landscaper info. That's what my wife just asked. Let's go get it. Let's see. Oh, they're getting busy out here too. They're doing some work on the outside. But, let me see. Let's see what we got. All right, let's go over some key terms again. On your Zillow, put in owner finance. Owner financing is a way that you can buy a property without credit. And it's the owner basically being the bank, being the financer. NEV. I don't see a landscaper, but we'll find one. Bam. Let's go back to the house. Should we go back to the house? Yeah, so little quaint neighborhood. We do have the largest house on the block. You know? And if this area, you know, there's not a lot that's on sale, but when they do pop up, it is an opportunity. Why do I say that? The hood is not far from here. I could walk to where we have 2 other properties. Now, right up from there, they just put in a Starbucks. What do you think's happening when a Starbucks is coming in? When a Starbucks is coming in and you're right up the street from the medical district, it's time to start buying. I should hop over my bike and take you guys there. I paid $25,000 for that property. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. I wanted to know if I'm on my motorcycle on live for a 5-minute trip, would you guys stay on the line? Let me see. Let me know if I hopped on the bike and I drove 5 minutes, would you stay on the live? Only reason I'm asking because I don't want to end it and then go start it again and so forth. But, word of the day, owner finance. That is not the only form of creative financing. It's just a way that you can get a hold of the asset without having all your credit in place or having a gang of money. What I love about owner finance is that you get to set the terms. So the properties that I put up, the ones, if you guys can look these up, 2995 Palm Drive. That's in East Point, Georgia, 30344. And if you look up 2908 Harlan Drive, East Point, Georgia, 30344, you will see that I am offering owner finance options on those. Well, really, it's lease purchase. Because they still have a mortgage on them, I'm doing a lease purchase. Now, you can do a subject too, but there's something called a due on sales clause. Now, from what I heard, it's normally not triggered, but I don't even play around like that. I'm not even going to roll the dice. I'd rather just do a lease purchase. Now, the offers that I received on the lease purchase, they were decent, like 10% down. You know, sometimes if you're an investor, a lot of times you have to put 20% down. 7-year balloon payment. This one right here, this was interest only for a year, but I have had properties that I've done owner financing on with a 7-year balloon payment. You know, I know you guys are at lunch and I don't want to hold you all. Let's see if we covered everything. Picked it up $199, owner finance. That means it went straight to the owner. Put down 7.5%, interest only for a year. Refinance, went to the bank. The bank had their appraiser come out. The appraiser said it's worth, I can't remember the exact number, but let's say the appraiser said it's worth $400,000, and then we get a loan of 70 to 80% of that loan. All the money that we put back, the goal is to put it back in our pocket so we're whole again, and then to go do it again. That will mean nothing. Still added about $100,000 of equity to my net worth. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's go. Oh, and don't forget to tell everybody we are giving away a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta, furnished with utilities, and you can give it away. It's transferable, so you can give it to your mama, brother, sister, cousin, anybody, as long as they're 18 plus. And you can sublet it, meaning for that year that you're there, you can rent it out to someone for a year, or you can put it on Airbnb, VRBO, any of the short-term rental platforms. LiveFreeGiveHope.com. Talk to you guys later. Peace.